Alain Delon, the last of the giants, the last of the Sicilian clan, a fighter and a great lord. Alain Delon, an icon of French cinema, was much more than just an actor. Born on November 8, 1935 in Sceaux, a suburb of Paris, he grew up in modest circumstances, an environment that forged in him a determination and strength of character that would later become his signature. Unlike many of his contemporaries, Delon never attended drama school. He was self-taught, a natural, raw genius that the cameras immediately captured. His screen presence, magnified by his charm and beauty, made him an international star and one of the most respected actors of his time. It was director Yves Allégret who, in 1957, offered Delon his first role in Quand la femme s'en mêle. It was the beginning of a legendary career. Delon needed no formal training to break through. His talent was innate, his ability to inhabit a character exceptional. This natural charisma, combined with a remarkable sensitivity and depth, allowed him to transcend roles and capture the essence of the characters he played. Delon was a force of nature, a man who, without compromise, spoke his mind in a world of hypocrites. He was the last one who spoke his mind without filter in a world of hypocrites, some say, and this frankness, this brutal honesty, were qualities that distinguished him in the cinematic landscape. Delon was also the last of the Sicilians, a reference to his iconic role in Le Clan des Sicilians, 1969, which marked a golden era of French cinema alongside Jean-Paul Belmondo, his accomplice and rival on screen. Together, they embodied an unforgettable era, a time when French cinema reigned supreme, when Bebel and Delon were the two giants, the titans who left an indelible mark on the hearts of spectators. Their friendship, both on screen and in life, symbolized the grandeur and decadence of a bygone era. But Delon was also a man of great sensitivity, a loyal and devoted friend to animals. Those who knew him knew that he had a deep bond with his dogs, cats, and horses. For him, these creatures were the only truly loyal friends, in a world where human betrayals were commonplace. He often expressed his conviction that, in a world of pretense and false friendship, only animals deserved absolute trust. He had an immense love for them, to the point of asking to be buried alongside his animals, his true companions in life. This attachment, this loyalty to animals, revealed a side of Delon that many ignore. His quest for purity, authenticity in a world often marked by hypocrisy and superficiality. In his interviews, Delon did not mince his words. His frankness, his refusal to give in to the conventions of political correctness, earned him as many critics as admirers. For many, he was the last representative of a bygone world, a world where people still dared to be themselves without fear of repercussions. This sincerity, this courage to say what he thought, made him a figure apart, a man who is respected even if you do not always share his opinions. This interview shows Delon's character very well. He was very direct and unfiltered, some will say, and they will be right. Delon was not a man of compromise, and that is precisely what made him a legend. Today, with the passing of Jean-Paul Belmondo, Delon had become the last of the giants. Their era is over, leaving a huge void in the world of French cinema. I am sad for Delon, but he no longer suffers. Those who loved him will murmur, because his life, marked by so much glory and drama, ends in a serenity that only his animals have always brought him. Alain Delon, this man who, without ever having studied drama, became one of the greatest figures in cinema, will be remembered as one of the last men to have embodied a cinema of another era, a cinema where authenticity and raw talent took precedence over everything. Belmondo and Delon, the two giants of French cinema, are gone, but their legacy is eternal. Alain Delon was not only a genius actor, but also a man deeply attached to animals. His love for animals was not a simple affection, but a true commitment, an authentic and intense relationship that spoke volumes about his sensitivity and his relationship to the world. For him, animals represented purity, innocence, and a loyalty that few humans could match. Delon often expressed that in a world dominated by hypocrisy, pretense, and betrayal, animals were the only beings on which one could truly count. This conviction led him to surround his life with his four-legged companions, whom he considered his true friends. His dogs, Cats and horses were much more than just pets. They were his family, his confidants, his protectors in a sometimes cruel world. His property in Duchy, where he lived withdrawn from the world, was a true haven of peace for his animals. There, he created an environment where they could live in complete freedom, surrounded by the love and attention he gave them. This home was not only a place of rest for him, but a sanctuary where he could recharge his batteries, far from the tumult of public life, surrounded by those he loved most. Delon saw in the eyes of his animals a sincerity and loyalty that he rarely found in humans. This symbiotic relationship that he had with them was in fact a reflection of his own need for loyalty and authenticity, values that he cherished and that he found unfailingly in his companions. For him, the company of his animals was a refuge, a source of comfort in a world where he often felt betrayed by human relationships. This deep bond with his animals also marked his last wishes. Alain Delon asked to be buried alongside his animals. This choice testifies to the primordial importance that they had in his life. He wanted to rest in peace next to those who, according to him, had never betrayed him, who had offered him unconditional love. This decision, while surprising to some, is in fact perfectly consistent with the man he was, a man who understood that true loyalty and authentic love are often found in those who cannot speak, but whose actions speak louder than any words. Alain Delon embodied another vision of life, where animals were not only living beings, but souls with whom he shared a deep connection. By choosing to spend his last days surrounded by his four-legged friends, he reminded everyone of the importance of these bonds and how much they had enriched his life. It is an unusual legacy, but one of great beauty, which further underlines the exceptionality of this man.